guys like this one?
Got me, Kyle?
Yep.
Women are weird.
Waiter forgot our water.
He's gaslighting us. That's what gaslighting is.
Yeah, no, that's gaslighting. That is abuse.
He's a narcissist. He can't hold space for us.
I'm literally a fucking empath. I hold space all the time.
I'm holding so much
hold
space all the
tons of
time.
space.
Like right now, I'm holding the handicap space.
Like in the parking lot?
Yes, I'm holding it for me.
Not for someone with a handicap?
No, it's self-care.
Oh, if it's self-care, then no, you're fine.
I'm a hero.
I've actually been having a lot of intrusive thoughts lately.
That's traumatizing.
Like thoughts of like intruding on people's weddings I wasn't invited to. I'm feeling that for me.
I have that with funerals I wasn't invited to. What is that?
I think I'm gonna do it.
I don't think that's an intrusive thought. I think you're manifesting that.
No, it's me making a plan to intrude on purpose.
And you know what that is your boundary.
My boundary is I need to crash other people's weddings.
Have I told you I'm working on my body dysmorphia?
Oh my God, how?
I'm doing exposure therapy. Basically, I expose myself to people on the subway.
Oh, is that good? Does that work?
You know, it hasn't. It's actually just been triggering my ankle monitor because I can't leave the house.
Oh yeah, no, that's crossing a boundary that the state set for you on where you're legally allowed to be.
Yeah. Have you actually ever been to therapy?
No, God no. Have you?
No, that crosses a boundary for me.
Again, this is another issue. Like I don't have a degree in psychology, but I try to read like 40, 50, 60 books on the concept. And I try to have psychologists on my show, but I often get into conversations with women who also don't have degrees in psychology, explaining to me concepts like gaslighting and narcissism. Again,
Yes. Everyone's a narcissist.
Again, we've had. I'm not going to do this to you guys, but sometimes we'll have 10 girls on the show and ask, "How many of you guys have dated a narcissist?" And everyone will raise their hand. And I point out that 4% of the population are narcissists. That's not possible. It's not. Now you're saying you were dating a narcissist. I believe you.
Loved it.
Yeah, for sure. Like I probably.
I want another one.
You're probably telling.
I have
the truth.
never seen so much honesty on this podcast
Yeah, for sure.
before.
You're
This is
probably telling
great.
the truth. Bro, she's got that.
At least she embraces
No,
it.
listen,
Yeah.
she's got that alimony truth, right?
Alimony
that
truth.
fuck you money. But you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, it's one of these things where it's like now all of a sudden there's this like new pop psychology thing where everyone, the term toxic masculinity is another one. It's like, we'll just put these two words together and then we'll make a diagnosis about people. I'm dating a psychopath. I'm dating a narcissist. I'm being gaslit. All these terms that people don't understand what they mean. And here's the reason why I bring this up, specifically in the conversation of like, say, Amber Heard or the conversation with like, say, Lindsay Hill. These are women who falsely accused men of abusing them and falsely accused men of like physical violence against them. It turned out that these women were lying. And the problem is I work with domestic abuse shelters. And when women who actually need help, they're being put to the back of the line by women who are lying and saying things like, I'm being gaslit, abused, I'm being like all this kind of stuff. And that's why I have an issue with it. Like, we need to know what these words mean. If your man has set a boundary for you and that makes you upset, that doesn't mean he gaslit you. If he tells you from the day one, I am not interested in a committed relationship, and then later on you're like, that guy's a fucking narcissist because he didn't give me what I wanted. He's not a narcissist. He told you what he wanted. Yeah. He set a masculine boundary and you chose not to adhere to it. And I have personally gone through this more than 4 times where I told a girl from the jump, we're not going to be together. And in her mind, she's like, yeah, I'm just going to wear him down. And I'm like, no, you're not going to wear me down. I've already made my decision. I'm more focused on my career and I don't want to be in a relationship right now. And when they do so, then they go and tell their friends after you break up, yeah, he was a narcissist. And I'm like, I rescue fucking cats. What are you talking about, man? Like, that hurts my feelings. Not really. But anyway, do you guys have any, friends like this, or everything is
That really gets me when people use that term, because I do have a degree in psychology, and there's no such thing as an empath. There's no scientific term as like a psychopath or a sociopath. Those are not real.
Yeah, so they're not diagnosed.
They're not diagnosed.
They're terms that mean something, but in a psychological
term,
it's antisocial personality disorder.
I mean, if there were this many narcissists, there's not this many narcissists.
Yes.
There's just not.
Yeah, what happens a lot of time, and by the way, let me say this all. Wait, fellas, if your girlfriend cheats on you, that doesn't mean she's a narcissist or a psychopath. It doesn't mean she has borderline personality disorder. She could, but it doesn't mean so. And ladies, ready? If your man cheats on you, it doesn't mean he's a narcissist either.
It means
it
he needs to die.
It means he's a man.
It just means he was kind of horny. That's what happened, right? Yeah. That's what happened. Anyway, do anybody deal with this?
I agree with both of you. I know there's no empath because that's BS. So I already know that's BS, because
only on the X-Men are there empaths.
All humans have the potential.
Professor Xavier is an empath.
Yes. All humans have the potential for empathy. So whether you exercise whatever trait was blessed with you, you can exercise your empathy and become more empathetic.
You want to go one further?
Yes.
There's no such thing as love languages.
We can
talk
talk about that shit.
Dude, you know what? You know who likes words of affirmation? Everybody likes them. Oh shit. You want to know who likes physical touch? Everyone likes physical touch. It's called fucking. What is like
every
so
baby in the NICU loves physical touch.
Oh my God, bro. There's no such thing as 5 love languages. My love language is getting gifts. You know who likes getting gifts? Get me NCAA 25 tomorrow and see how fucking happy I'm going to be. Are you kidding me? Give me that Elden Ring DLC. I will be happy as a motherfucker. Gifts are great. You know who likes gifts? Everyone likes gifts. There's no such thing as love languages. They've done studies. There's no correlation between love languages and successful relationships.
Yeah, there's no love languages. There's no fucking crystal healing. If you read, what's that doctor's name?
Don't talk
Joe
about the crystal.
Joe Dispenza.
If you read
Guys,
Joe Dispenza,
listen, guys.
there's
nobody,
no 8 ball. There's none
nobody
of that.
healed their spine
Fuck
with a
like so.
quantum field, bro.
Wait, can
None
we
of
talk
that
about
shit
the
is true.
crystals for a second, though?
But there
Go
is
ahead.
grounding.
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't necessarily think that, like, okay, the crystals are doing it, but I do think
A lot of people
that
think
there.
that.
I think that there is like, kind of like how people say like manifesting isn't necessarily real,
It's not.
but I think there is a level of it that is kind
Okay.
of real.
Jessica, what you're saying is accurate, but the reason why is because
They're
the
putting
term for
the
it.
energy.
No, the
into
term
it.
for it
They're
is
putting
placebo.
action into
The
it.
term for it is
That's what it is.
the term
Putting
for it is
action.
placebo. The term for it is placebo.
That
There
also
is a
too.
placebo effect. If I
Yeah.
give you a sugar pill and I straight up tell you this sugar pill right here, but I won't tell you it's a sugar pill, this is going to absolutely change your mindset. If I give you the pill and you tell yourself that story, even though it's a placebo, meaning nothing physically has changed,
Yeah.
you will psychologically, you can have a change on your total
Oh,
effect. from
and
doing that.
I agree.
But it's still a placebo. It's
No,
still
no,
not
no.
real though.
I agree 100%. Like,
Yes.
absolutely 100%. I think what it is like putting the intention behind it. So, like, I've been a crystal girly. If I go on vacation and I find a crystal shop, I'm spending $200. Like, I don't go.
Beautiful, but you
But, like,
understand that
the
they're
fact-
we should start that.
The
I'm gonna start
fact of
crystal
it
shop. Start that
is
tomorrow.
that, like, just that, like, I know, like, okay, I'm buying this because I want to work on my communication. You know what I mean? Like, I'm buying this crystal for communication. It might not necessarily be the crystal itself, but the fact that I'm putting the intention behind working
There it
on
is.
that.
The belief in the belief.
Yes, it's me wanting
wrong with
to
that.
fix that.
It's
And
just a lot of
sometimes
people-
it's like we could go down a whole fucking rabbit hole, but sometimes people need something to believe in order to be
It's not
better,
sometimes.
and
Often
that's
they do.
okay.
Richard Dawkins writes books about this. Often people
And
do.
that's okay.
And by the way, let's take this even one step further. This is a great example. I was watching a discussion between my buddy Justin Waller and Andrew Tate, and they were having a discussion about religion. And they were saying, regardless of whether or not religion is real, let's just say you're shipwrecked one day, and you can have a choice between swimming to one of two islands. You can go to Atheism Island, or you can go to Religion Island. If you go to Atheism Island, the logical thing to do when a stranger comes onto Atheism Island is to what? Is to kill him.
you.
He may have pathogens. He may have ill intent for us. The best strategic statistical opportunity for me, or statistical idea, is for me to kill that person who comes on. But if I go to Religion Island, in that religion states, when a guest comes to your door, you give him salt and bread and you give him a roof to stay in. In that case, that religion that you may not believe in has saved your life. So in that instance, is God real? Because you're alive now because of it. And you can extrapolate that point to say all these institutions and nation states that were formed because of different churches and different religions, was that a good thing or a bad thing? So now you get into this this conversation about you needing to believe in something, and if that belief causes you to unify. I remember the first day I joined the military, they shaved my head, and I'm in my uniform, and I look across, and there's this angriest fucking dude I've ever seen in my life sitting across from me. And this guy, and I'm just thinking, oh, this is a guy I'm gonna have to fight. I know I'm gonna have to fight this dude. He just looks mean as fuck. And we're both are, and I realized years later, because I'm friends with him now, my head was shaved too, and he's looking back at me. And I just remember thinking, like seeing the American flag on his left arm and the American flag on my left arm, and just thinking, okay, we're on the same team. I don't know fuck all about this dude. Turns out later he just like low blood sugar and his like face, so he has a resting bitch face. But I thought, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to fight this guy. That whole thing. But the story that we tell ourselves about the United States of America, which is real, but it's real because we tell ourselves it's real. Mm-hmm. That whole thing has been able to unify us, sort of like a religion, in order to put together things like NASA. Shout out to the flat earthers. Things like NASA, things like our U.S. military, things like our stealth technology, ICBMs, the satellite technology, GPS systems, all this kind of stuff, and our interstate highways. All these things came together because we were able to do it under one flag, or one religion, or one cross, or Buddha, or Muhammad, whatever the thing is.
It's a natural human trait to need to believe in a higher thing, and
but because as long as like that thing like entices you to take action. from it. That's the most
Well,
important.
I would say that naturally humans, and we adore each other. I mean, humans end up worshiping each other to the point where they stalk each other. Like they worship because they come from what is worship. Like they come from the divine. So when you fall in love, you see someone as divine. And I think that's proof that people need to believe in a higher thing. Like what she's saying, I understand and I have a degree in theology, so I totally get it. Like, women, again, this is a woman thing. Women, I understand the crystals. However, I know personally from study that the crystals aren't really doing anything like you guys said. I know it, like you guys know, I had to study it. However, there is grounding, which is basically crystals are on the ground and there's grounding. So you actually can connect to the frequency of the rock, but putting a belief system in it is a different thing. Like these rocks are going to heal me as a
we're going to connect to the frequency of that 8 ball right now.
So here's the issue, right? I love growing up. Something I love so much was the Autobots and the Decepticons. Optimus Prime versus Megatron was fucking awesome. You know what else I loved? Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Get the fuck out of here. What an incredible. You know what else I loved? Rocky Balboa versus Ivan Drago. These were great things. And you want to know what else I knew about them? They were make-believe. And it was fine that I believed in them. I know that the guys who play for the Philadelphia Eagles don't actually hate the guys on the Dallas Cowboys. I know that they actually don't. But it's a story I need to tell myself in order for me to like enjoy this thing more. The problem is when I start believing in this story as opposed to objective reality, like she said before, there is reality is objective. Like Lolo said, when I start believing these stories as opposed to objective reality, and then we have the same women come to us and be like, why aren't you hiring us for STEM jobs? You believe in astrology. That's why we're not hiring you for STEM jobs. Like, what are you talking about?
There's too many people. Like, I understand, like, if you believe in manifestation intention, you take action on it. But like, there's just too many people I see who believe in like this manifestation, but they live in their car. There's too many people I see who believe in this that are just like overweight and like make no money.
Visualization is great. Yeah,
visualization
I was
is
about
real.
to say. I was about to say. So let me chime in on this because when it comes to crystals, when it comes to rabbit's feet, when it comes to talismans, when it comes to iconography and stuff like that, the icon has no magic power. Okay. Yeah. It's largely superstition, okay, or it's a signifier of tribalism. I'm Danish, so I wear a Mjolnir, okay. But the thing is when you like, they've done studies of this kind of stuff, but I'm just going to like spitball here a little bit. Like if you give a kid a lucky rabbit's foot and you say, okay, Johnny, you got your lucky rabbit's foot. You're going to hit a home run in Little League today. And then he goes, yeah, okay, I'm good. And then he feels more confident to go and hit a home run as a result of it. And maybe he does a little bit better because he has the belief. There's a power in the belief. The actual talisman it's just superstition, right? But it's not the actual thing. It's the confidence or whatever that you have with it.
Substance.
So if you go and you look at like Major League Baseball, Major League Baseball is rife with superstition. Like these guys do these.
Yeah, they have a lot of rituals.
Okay, we're ready to go. Like that. I mean, whatever it is, they don't do that fucking ritual. Then they're not going to hit a fucking grand slam home run in the World Series, right? It's all over the place. Now, do they actually believe in the magic of the superstition? Probably not, but they think that if they do it, well, some of them do. That's
I have my lucky underwear on today.
Yes, I have mine on as well. Yes, you're gonna get laid. So, but the thing is, it's like it's not the actual ritual. It's not the actual thing. It's the belief. There's power in the belief of the thing, because if it puts you in the proper state of mind, visualization, for example, rather than manifestation is like, you know, if it's the secret or like the power of sending positive juju into the universe. Okay, that's kind of meh. But visualization, every damn positivity guru that's out there says something very similar to the same thing. Like you have to see it in your head before you can like sort of go after what you setting goals for yourself. You have to say, I want to be here in 5 years. I want to be here in a half an hour. I want to be here in another year. And if you're seeing that we need magic. We need imagination. We need imagination. It's if we didn't have imagination, we wouldn't have hope.
So consider this, right? When you have groups of couples, like a set of couples, when one of the couples gets divorced, the likelihood of the other couples getting divorced increases significantly. Does that make sense? Same thing in a house, like in a neighborhood. When somebody sells their house, you start to see other people in that neighborhood start to sell houses. So what does this mean? This means think about the power of the thing we just described of suggestion. And then just think about if you wanted to be fantastically rich, like your ex-husband, you know who you should hang out with? fantastically rich people, or people, more importantly than being fantastically rich, people who understand the mechanisms to make money. These are two different things. Being rich, you can get that from a trust fund. The mechanisms, or you could be like a famous actor or athlete. The mechanisms to make money are very different than actual wealth. So I would surround myself with people who understood the mechanism to make money. If I was a woman and trying to get married, the girls I would go to eat drink with on Sundays would be married women. No friends, no offense, because they're super fun. Not my hoe friends. I would leave my hoe friends for Saturday night. But Sunday brunch, I would be with my married friends, and I would try to understand what's going on in order, because then look at the story I'm telling myself now. I'm telling myself a story for success. Success with relationship, success with money, going to the gym with guys who actually know what they're talking about instead of dudes who have no clue what they're talking about and who are fat, having a fat. Because have you seen like overweight personal trainers? I've seen them. Like it's crazy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
fucking madness when I see this shit. They're overweight personal trainers. And I'm like, when you see this kind of stuff, when you come to this realization, what if I just hung around people who ate better? What if I hung around with people who train better?
Yeah.
What if I hung around people who were in healthy relationships? And what if I hung around with people who were successful at making money? What would that do to change what I was saying? Now think about all the stuff we just said about the rocks and the crystals. Instead of using rocks and crystals, what if I use other people who are actually successful? That, like last week when I was at Ty Lopez's house, there with Justin Waller, Greg O'Gallagher, Owen Cook, and fucking Dan Fleischman. These guys are all probably worth somewhere between 50 and 100 million each. Like it's crazy. Maybe not that. Maybe like 10 to 100 million each. Like each one of these guys. I mean, Ty's probably worth 400 million.
Are they single?
Yes, they're all single. They're all single just for you. Actually, I don't think Greg is. Greg is
single?
Yeah, Ty might not be single. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he
think
is.
so.
Anyway, just a great idea. What about surrounding ourselves with people who want to do better? You see what I'm saying?
There's
Go ahead,
a
Lolo.
saying about that.
Go ahead,
It's like
Jessica.
you can take like the 5 friends you're around the most and see where you're going to be in the next 5
Exactly.
years.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, fun fact with superstitions, strippers have this superstition that if their purse touches the floor, they'll have a shitty money night.
Really?
Like at any time, like
Yeah.
at any time in the
Oh
night.
my god, you'll see us like when we're getting dressed and stuff, we hang our purses on the locker.
It's like when
and
you're a
stuff
kid,
like
hot
That's
lava.
awesome.
And then like another thing is that elephants have been recorded to have their own religions. Which
Elephants?
is interesting. Yeah.
Yes.
Like when the full moon is out, they'll like wave branches
We got
at
one
the
tonight.
moon.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
full, you know that a full
They're very
moon, it
intelligent,
changes the
too.
tides and everything. And
Sure.
It's the one thing in the world.
It's called
we
gravity.
see globally.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you say, Lola?
I mean, I think there's always something beautiful in believing in something higher than yourself. And even if you are talented and you prepared for an opportunity and you have that luck come your way, you know, as you guys say, manifesting what you want in life, there's something awesome about that. I think the basis of this conversation, though, with those original videos was like pop psychology and how we're using pop psychology terms to explain the people around us, or how maybe social media is influencing,
Or possibly to take away blame from ourselves
Yeah.
by calling
Yeah.
by placing blame on someone
Right.
else by using a
For
word
sure.
I heard on YouTube.
empath, gaslighting,
Yes.
narcissist, using those terms almost I mean, it's been talked about before. I have a psychology minor. It's nothing for
Nice.
yours, but using weaponizing these terms against people just to villainize people that either we believe have done us wrong, or maybe we don't have to hold ourselves accountable. And I would just say, like, if you're going to TikTok or Instagram and you're resonating with some of those TikToks and Instagrams that are talking about narcissists or talking about psychopaths and things like that, maybe you should go talk to a professional.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
TikTok.
And my,
Especially
Yeah.
TikTok.
my favorite
Yeah.
part was at the end. It's like, have you gone to therapy? He's like, no, that's a boundary for me. I'm not going to therapy. I thought that
Yeah.
was really
Yeah,
I
well,
also just
wasn't
don't
it-
think it's fair. Like it dilutes the meaning of the word. You know what I
Yes.
mean? For like the victims who have actually
Correct.
experienced and
Yes.
stuff. Like
Yes.
it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. You know?
Absolutely.
So
Like
like,
Amber Heard doesn't hurt me. Amber Heard hurts women who actually have been abused.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
Well, and there was a big debate around like Jonah Hill
Yes.
and saying that what
Yeah.
he was saying was weaponizing these therapeutic terms, to hurt his ex-girlfriend, I guess. But what do you guys think about that?
No.
Oh,
what-
he set like very clear boundaries,
Listen,
and he did not do anything
Here-
wrong.
here's
You
what
don't think
other
he did
guys would have
anything
said.
wrong? No,
Stop
not at all.
Here's what other guys would have
Not at
said.
all.
Other guys would have said, stop dressing like a slut and stop hanging out with your friends who are sluts and stop hanging out with dudes who are trying to fuck you. That's what other guys would have said. What he said instead was, if you need to hang around people like that, I totally understand and support you. But that's probably not good for us as a relationship. And then he broke up with her. And then right after he has a baby with another woman, then his girlfriend magically releases these screenshots. Okay,
Yeah.
there's no Jonah Hill. I'll say this before, and I will down this hill. Jonah Hill, so to speak. Jonah Hill did nothing wrong except pick the wrong girl to date. He did nothing wrong. He straight up told that girl. He said he several times. He does not cuss at her. He gives her the option. You can do whatever. I'm sure couples have come up to you, probably try to have a threesome. They can ask, just as long as you have the right to say no. It's fine. If people come up to you and they hit on you, they can come up and hit on you, just as long as you have a right to say no. If your man says, I want you to wear a fucking burqa when you go outside, you'd be like, that's really funny, honey. And you have the right to say no, as long as we have the right to say no. Because the idea that if what Jonah Hill did was misogynistic, every single Muslim man on this planet is misogynist. Do you understand? Every single one of them, because they wouldn't want their wives hanging out with men trying to fuck them and dressing like that either. But my girlfriend is a fucking world-class bikini model, and I don't give a shit if she dresses like that, because that's what but I have a different standard. And if it wasn't that standard, I have the right to leave and she has the right to leave, and we don't do that. That's essentially what happens. As long as you have the right to leave, which Jonah Hill gave his girlfriend, which is why I'm saying he did nothing wrong.
I think the disconnect, like I agree with you that people should be able to communicate what they want in a relationship, but then give the other partner the option to say like, yes, I'm down for this, or no, I'm not down for this. I think the part, like at least that pissed me off within that situation was like they met and he liked who she was when they met. I think that was the part where like I had an issue with it, where it's like, okay, now all of a sudden it's an issue.
But Jessica,
he didn't
bring up the text messages.
But like you were saying, like he chose to date the wrong person.
Yes.
I think that if you don't want to date an OnlyFans girl, don't fucking date an OnlyFans girl. I'm an OnlyFans girl. That's perfectly fine. If you don't like that, that's perfectly fine. You are allowed to have your preference, but don't try to date me and then after we're started dating, be like, I don't want you to do it anymore. Like that's not fair.
But it doesn't seem like she had a problem with that until he was with another woman.
Well, then fuck her then. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know what I mean?
Only time she let it out.
We're talking about like where Jonah was like right or not right now.
The point
I
of the Jonah
also
Hill
think
thing is
that shit's messy. I don't think
no one
should
ever
talk
talks
shit
about the fact that these screenshots came out the day after he has a baby with another woman.
Yeah, I also don't agree with people talking shit about their exes.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
In my opinion,
Voldemort and Sauron. I want to say thank you guys. Nothing but the best, Voldemort.
In my opinion, it makes you look fucking stupid. Like if you're gonna go around like say if I'm like, oh my god, girl, he did this to me. He punched me in the face, and then I stayed, and then he cheated on me, and then I stayed. Like you're making yourself look like a fucking idiot.
Oh yeah,
take your loss and go somewhere else. Like, and that's like, and I'm not even gonna say that I'm perfect. That's something that I had to learn for myself and be honest about that shit with myself. Because of course, like when I was young and like super immature, I'm still fucking young, but like when I was really immature about stuff, I used to just like want to tell everybody my side of the story to try to get my feelings validated. But it ends up doing way more damage than it does good.
Beautiful. We have another one.
Are you tired of meeting women at the bar and you're looking for a genuine way to meet high quality women? Click the link in the description and I'll send you an exclusive invite to my elite networking community where you can learn to date high quality women today.